At 35 meters tall, the RS-28 Sarmat is roughly the height of a 10-story building. Yet it is designed to disappear from radar tracking before most defense systems can even confirm a launch. On May 13, 2026, the Kremlin released footage of what they claim is the final successful test for this weapon. But the charred remains of previous launch sites suggest the path to operational status is far from certain. The missile, designated by NATO as the Satan II, represents the peak of Russia's nuclear modernization program. According to official Russian statements, this latest test launch was a total success, intended to prove the missile's readiness for active combat duty. This matters now because the Kremlin has set a deadline for the Sarmat to enter service by the end of 2026, a timeline that would significantly alter the strategic balance between the world's two largest nuclear powers. The development of the Sarmat is not an isolated project. It is a direct response to shifting global defense architectures. Russia cites the 2001 U.S. withdrawal from the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty as the primary catalyst for the program. By replacing the aging Soviet-era Voyevoda, Russia aims to maintain a credible deterrent against evolving Western interception capabilities. This is a transition from 1970s liquid-fueled technology to a platform designed for the 21st century battlefield. The Voyevoda was formidable, but the Sarmat is built to exploit specific gaps in modern radar and satellite networks. To understand the engineering behind this shift, we have to look at the physical specifications. Technical data from the Center for Strategic and International Studies shows the RS-28 Sarmat is 35.3 meters in length and 3 meters in diameter. It is a massive platform weighing 208.1 tons, which allows it to carry a maximum payload of 10 tons. This payload capacity is significant because it allows for multiple individually targeted warheads, or MIRVs. While the specific number of warheads per missile remains classified, the 10-ton limit suggests it could carry more than its predecessor, providing the ability to saturate a target area and overwhelm local defenses. What changed in the design of the Sarmat compared to older ICBMs is the boost phase. Reports indicate the missile is engineered to reach high speeds extremely quickly, allowing it to cut its engines early in the flight. This reduces the window of time that Western space-based infrared sensors have to track the hot exhaust plume, making interception during the most vulnerable part of the flight much more difficult. However, the road to this short boost capability has been punctuated by catastrophic failure. Open-source data and satellite imagery from September 2024 show an enormous explosion at a launch silo, widely believed by analysts to be a failed Sarmat test. The debris field suggested a liquid fuel explosion of immense proportions, raising questions about the stability of the missile's propulsion system. This brings us to the most contested aspect of the Sarmat, its range. There is a massive discrepancy between Russian claims and Western analysis. President Putin has stated the missile has a range exceeding 35,000 kilometers, or roughly 21,750 miles. If true, this would allow the Sarmat to fly over either the North or effectively bypass the Arctic. Western analysts are more skeptical. The Center for Strategic and International Studies estimates the actual maximum range is closer to 18,000 kilometers. While 18,000 kilometers is still enough to hit any part of the United States from Russian territory, it does not support the fractional orbital bombardment theory that Putin's 35,000 kilometer claim suggests. The discrepancy may lie in the payload. The Sarmat is designed to carry the Avangard Hypersonic glide vehicle, which can maneuver at high speeds in the atmosphere to evade interceptors. If the missile is used as a delivery system for these gliders rather than traditional ballistic warheads, the effective range and trajectory become much harder to calculate using standard physics. Why this matters is the message it sends to the West. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has linked these tests to the ongoing diplomatic tension surrounding the war in Ukraine, suggesting that the Sarmat is a symmetrical response to Western involvement. The missile is being used as a tool of high stakes, signaling as much as it is a weapon of war. The Russian government specifically points to the proposed $1.2 trillion Golden Dome missile defense plan in the United States as a reason for the Sarmat's urgency. From the Kremlin's perspective, a missile that can fly any route and strike from any direction is the only way to ensure their nuclear deterrent remains viable against a massive U.S. investment in interception technology. The timeline of development shows this has been a 15-year effort. Work began in 2011, and Putin officially unveiled the Sarmat in 2018 as part of a suite of invincible weapons. Despite the 2018 announcement, the missile has faced repeated delays, with the 2024 explosion being the most public setback. During the May 13, 2026 test, Putin hailed the weapon as the most powerful in the world. This rhetoric is designed to project strength at a time when Russia's conventional forces are heavily committed in Ukraine. It serves as a reminder that regardless of the situation on the ground in Donbass, Russia remains a top-tier nuclear power. But the question of reliability remains. One successful test in May 2026 does not necessarily erase the memory of the September 2024 disaster. Analysts are watching to see launches before the is truly ready for combat duty. The projected deployment by the end of 2026 is an ambitious goal. Russia has a history of announcing early deployment dates for high-tech systems, such as the Poseidon nuclear torpedo and the Burevestnik cruise missile, only for those dates to slip by years. The Sarmat's complexity, using liquid fuel in a highly pressurized, rapid start system, makes it prone to the kind of technical hurdles that cause these delays. What we are seeing is the slow-motion replacement of the backbone of the Russian strategic rocket forces. Even if the 35,000-kilometer range is exaggerated, the Sarmat's ability to carry heavy payloads and its reduced boost phase make it a significant upgrade over the 1970s technology it replaces. The implications of the Sarmat extend beyond the technical. It signals a shift back toward a Cold War-style focus on heavy, land-based ICBMs as the primary tool of strategic leverage. While the U.S. is focused on a triad of submarines, bombers, and smaller missiles, Russia is doubling down on the sheer scale of the RS-28. As we look toward the end of 2026, the key indicator of success will not be more launch footage from the Ministry of Defense, but rather the visible conversion of existing silos to accommodate the larger Sarmat frames. Open-source satellite imagery will be the primary tool for verifying if these missiles are actually being deployed or if they remain in the testing phase. The strategic reality is that the Sarmat doesn't need to be invincible to be effective. It only needs to be reliable enough to force an adversary to spend hundreds of billions of dollars trying to counter it. In the cost-exchange ratio of modern warfare, that is a victory in itself. We still don't know the exact warhead count or if the propulsion issues from 2024 have been fully resolved. What is clear is that the Sarmat is the centerpiece of a new era of nuclear competition, one defined by hypersonic speeds and suborbital trajectories. Please like the video and subscribe if you found this breakdown useful for your work or research. Sources for everything are linked below. If you want longer breakdowns, the newsletter is in the description. Based on the 2024 failure versus the 2026 success, which technical indicator, fuel stability or boost phase timing, do you think is the most critical risk factor for the Sarmat's deployment?